The story of Persephone is one that we can lean into as we move farther from the summertime and closer to autumn in this liminal sort of transition space that we are in. And the story of Persephone can help us look within ourselves as we explore duality in our dual natures in dark and light. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. Welcome to today's episode of Expedition to Soul. I'm Sarah, founder of the Sisters Enchanted. And today we are bringing you a bit of a conversation that I had with our holistic witchery teacher, Kelly Soroka. We were talking about Persephone and the dual nature of light and dark, and how, we all have that within us, and what it can mean for us to lean into the experience of light and dark in our lives. Now, to give you a little bit of background, Persephone, the story of Persephone, it's a beautiful one. And we're actually going to have a podcast about this and a little closer to Halloween. But Persephone is mythologically, she is a person who gets grabbed, snatched up by Hades, taken to the underworld from her mother Demeter to rule over the underworld. While Hades, Demeter, Persephone, they come to an agreement where Persephone can return Earthside for half the year. So every year when Persephone goes to the underworld to be the queen of the underworld, the earth dies. And when she comes again, the earth is reborn in spring. And what we see throughout the story and over time with Persephone is that she embraces this, and she embraces her role, and that there is value in the dark, in her reigning of the underworld, and value in the light. And when she returns and brings spring with her. So Kelly and I talked about this, and I'm going to go ahead and play this episode for you now. I hope you enjoy. That's the thing that I think we can learn from Persephone is the first time she ends up in the underworld, she really is snatched away into the underworld, and stolen. And then there's an agreement that happens where she's able to come back. But years following, she knows that she's going to the underworld and she's doing it willingly, and, really grows into that experience for herself. And I think we can look at our own lives in the same way, where we're being resistant to something that's uncomfortable, or, maybe sad or maddening, or just brings upon a bunch of grief, where if we can sort of see coming the opportunity and the cycles, and not resist, what can we learn from those experiences? So would you say that for yourself, Kelly, when you've seen these moments in your life, have you found now, being like on the other side of a dark night of the soul, and just all the things that you teach here at the Sisters Enchanted, does it make it, I don't know if it's easier, but easier to accept that there are times that feel like you're going into the underworld more willingly as opposed to resisting those times?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I can definitely look at things that I know that are going to cause me anxiety or cause me pain or cause me grief. And I can look at them and accept the fact that it is going to be hard. It's going to be full, of grief, and it's going to be something that is going to cause me to be sad. But at the same time, there's something wonderful on the other side, or at the same time. And that is one of the things that I think that is a really good message from Persephone, and something to really work on as you work on your spiritual journey, is to really realize that you can do these things at the same time. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can have these kind of dark times where you're going through something that's causing you grief, but you can still be happy and find joy in your day-to-day life, and find joy in what is happening. And so really that and I think that's one of the lessons of Persephone, is really realizing that for her, she could have it both. She could be there for the spring and be, her a daughter, and she could also be the wife and the queen, and so she could also help growth, but she could also help in death. And so, and just holding those things at the same time. And, um, it's that, coming up to the autumn equinox and seeing that balance of time and just kind of holding it in your hands, but knowing that, the day before it was on one side and the day after you're going to be on the other side, and just, kind of being in that midst of it, but also saying, well, I can do both. I can see the light and the shadow. I can see the good and the bad. I can see the grief and I can have the joy and have those things at the same time. So that has been a big lesson for me. I think just keeping those, and and working with Persephone and telling her story, and knowing that you can do it, and you can do it at the same time.
Yeah. I think too, it's something that you spoke to here was really the dual nature of the life experience and also our roles as people, where we can, I think that as women in particular, there's like we want to present as if everything's always springtime. But
It's
alas,
fine. Uh-huh.
everything is not always springtime.
Yes, yes.
And,
Mhm.
giving ourselves permission too to be to our to embrace that duality within ourselves. And again, this time of year is just a beautiful reminder of that, because we talk about the equinox and the shift into the fall season, but really, um, that's such a short period of time that we're really in that balance. Otherwise, we're always
Yes,
growing or we're always waning. And, there's so many lessons in mythology and story and in nature and in as people trying to be spring all the time in our personalities or portray a sense of spring in our lives or to other people. Like we're leaving a whole other half of the picture out constantly. And um, just like Persephone just realizes now it's time to shift into this energy. How great would it feel for ourselves if we could just let up and know that sometimes it's time to move through whatever I'm feeling or rest or go underground and then reemerge in the spring or reemerge tomorrow with a different energy. But when we resist that duality within ourselves, it's not doing anyone any favors. That's for sure.
yes, definitely not. And and her and Persephone, seeing that she could be a daughter and a queen, and she could have those roles for herself, and know that one was not better than the other. One, being the daughter, was not better or more fulfilling, and being a queen and partner was not better than being the daughter. And just realizing that both of those served functions for her, and both of those fulfilled her in different ways, and knowing that we can do that, and that we're going to go through those things times in our lives, and like you said, not to resist the times when we do need to let go of something that's holding us back, an old role, or the way that we think we're supposed to feel, or the we think that we're always supposed to be, springtime and happy, knowing that it's just not going to be that way all the time, and seeing that, and knowing that it's okay. And that, I think, is one thing that we don't get the message of a lot, is that it's okay. It's okay to be sad about something. It's okay
Yeah.
to worry about something. It's okay to feel grief. And just like it's okay to feel joy, and it's okay to feel happiness. It's neither one is worse than the other or better than the other, but just having that duality and embracing it.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Kelly, since it is almost Mabon and fall season's upon us, can I ask you before we wrap up, what's your favorite thing to do? Because I know you love summer, so stepping into
Yeah.
the fall season and really gearing up for the dark nights ahead is probably not your most favorite thing. But how do you love to honor or celebrate the transition into fall?
I love just to decorate my house. I get, the things, I go outside, I find, the leaves and the acorns and, all the prettiness that nature has to offer, and I just bring it inside and, put things in, get pumpkins and, just do a lot of the just embracing that feeling of the harvest, the pumpkins and the trees that are just, we have a lot of maple trees, so we have just, tons of beautiful leaves. And so I'll just gather them up and just put them, all over the house. So just bringing that nature, bringing the beauty and recognizing, what is beautiful about that season. And it's not the same as what's beautiful about summer, but there are so many things that I do, love about fall and, making chilies and things like that. So that's what I love to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about that in our membership program about how nature provides like all the tools one needs to connect and center and honor the seasons. And you just got to go outside and look for them. They're right
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
Well, thank you, Kelly, for chatting with me today about this topic.
Oh, you're welcome. It was very fun, and Persephone is really good. And get when the magazine comes out, make sure you read all about Persephone and this time of year. So, and embrace the duality.
Yes, embrace the duality.
Yes.
Well, you can also embrace joining us for our free season of the witch class, which is starting in like 1 week from the time that this airs. So we'll make sure to have the link for that so you can get registered. There's going to be 5 days of really fun, magical classes. The perfect thing to transition into the season of the witch in September into October and really just embrace spooky season and all that comes with it. So we'll have the link so you can get registered for that. And yeah, look for the free digital Stay Magic magazine. You don't want to miss that either.
Yeah.
And Kelly hangs out and teaches in our holistic witchery program. So she's teaching like pretty much once per week. So you want to make sure when that opens up, you get in there so you can come hang out with Kelly. And she brings all the
Yeah.
magic goodness to everything we do here.
Yes. It's so
Yeah.
fun. Don't miss it.
Yes. Don't miss it. All right, Kelly, thank you again for coming.
Well,
And
thank you.
yeah, always. And thanks to all of our listeners for hanging out with us. And until next time, we hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day ahead. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.